Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for November 23rd, 2016. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the ES and the daily time frame here. This is the last day before the Thanksgiving holiday here in the United States. We have a slew of economic reports due out. Core durable goods, we have jobless claims, manufacturing PMI, Michigan consumer sentiment, new home sales, crude oil inventories, etc. And later on, FOMC meeting minutes this afternoon at 1 o'clock. And then, of course, Thursday we're going to have a market holiday, and then Friday is a half session here in the U.S. where the market will close at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. I will be out the rest of the week after this pre-market report, so I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and make it wonderful. And now we have a quick look at how these markets might play out here as we head out. Typically speaking, heading into the Thanksgiving holiday, markets tend to just drift higher. And we've already seen a little bit of that drift recently here, and that's typically what you see. Low volume, low volatility environment, very difficult to sell, very difficult to buy, just kind of drifts higher. And with that said, we could see the next upside targets reached. And if we show some of our drawings here, one of the things that we talked about was our extensions. 2214 is the next major extension above. That's the 50% from the election key range. That's 2214. And then we have 2230 to 2240 as the next zone beyond that. So I believe 2214 could be something we could see here fairly soon. And then if this thing continues on, where 2240 could be the next major target to reach. So right now, that's the idea. 2185 is going to be a major pivot. Obviously, if there's any failure to hold above 2185s, that could signal the move back toward 2100. But as of right now, bulls continue to defend 2185, and any rotations into it should likely be defended. All right, let's take a look now at the intraday time frame here. Here's the intraday time frame for the ES. Right now, you see after a nice trending move the previous session, and we saw the trap occur basically right where we were looking for it to occur in our trading room, and it took a little while, built out a box, but it got back to VWAP and then across the range into R3. And now after that move up, we've kind of just seen it just fade new highs, fade new lows. So right now you have a flat VWAP right at VPOC. I would say fading new highs, fading new lows is the likely approach for today. If price were to pull back into new lows here, could be a quote-unquote safer buying opportunity since we're currently in a trending market to the upside. So buying pullbacks offers the opportunity to squeeze to new highs. Selling and fading highs needs to be very approached very cautiously, because if that fade doesn't work, remember you're in an uptrending market and it could squeeze you. And right now that's kind of the goal, is this thing is likely going to just drift higher, especially if it can push to 2204s. There's 2214 is right above. All right, let's take a look at crude oil. Here's crude right now coiling on the intraday time frame. We're seeing absorption right off the area where we thought we would. Yesterday what we were looking for was rejections above 4850. 4850 being about right here. It was the previous session's high, 4850. And I mentioned that right now all price moves into that zone are being rejected. And I said look for further weakness above that area for a likely push back toward 47 to 47.25. And I mentioned that bulls would want to come in and defend that area, at least give it one try. And now you have on both sides, you have stops ready to run. But bears are defending 48.40 to 48.50, and that continues to remain the case. If there's any push beyond that zone, you're going to squeeze a lot of bears, and you're going to jump right into that 50 to 50 half zone. Failure to get back above 48.50 there implies more pressure to the downside, and at this point, pullbacks, given the current squeeze, pullbacks have been defended. So look for the next pullback to continue to be defended by bulls for potential continuation across the larger range. All right, taking a look at the intraday time frame. You can see there's quite a bit of sideways action going on. Remember, the market is still anticipating the first bit of news here. We also have crude oil inventories, but we have a really nice trading range that is developed here, 47.70 to 48.35. Look for bears and bulls to continue to engage this range at those edges. Fade new highs, fade new lows right now until crude oil inventories comes out. Remember, 48.50 to 48.40 has been defended big time over the last several days here, or last 2 days. So here's 48.40, here's 48.50. You can see the rotations that came into the zone time and time again. That means there's a bunch of buy stops. So if after inventories price starts to push through 48.60 here, it could catch fire and rally toward 49.20. So either way, we have a good potential move here. I believe as long as 48.50 remains offered, we're going to see another test toward 47 and perhaps below. All right, let's take a look at gold futures. All right, so we have gold futures here. Here's the pivots on a weekly basis there. What you see, let's see, bring it over this way, is that price is sitting on lows right now. You know, we were very cautious of this one here when price dropped and just kind of sat there. We mentioned above 12.33, above 12.30. Could squeeze, but if it can't get above that zone, we need more lows. The market, especially in gold, had been traditionally bought up this whole year very, very quickly on every pullback, and all of a sudden that has changed. And so the market needs to auction fresh lows in order to entice more buyers. 1200 is a good area of support. We came into 1201s, but 1180 would flush even below there, and that provides an even better spot for bulls to really try to engage and return these prices back to 1300. So right now, I still believe there may be some more downside ahead for gold. We could be looking at another drop below, and 1221 to 1222 has been a very nice pivot right now. So 1221s, you can see 1222, that's where it was holding, and then it went offered, and now the retest is also defended. So that's an important area. If you see price start to push through 1221, 1222, that could mean a bigger bounce is coming. Otherwise, below that level hints at more downside price discovery. All right, let's take a look now at the NQ. Here's the NQ. We're sitting right at 48.80, and that's a big time level for us, right? So we talked about that level before, 48.40 to 48.80, and even 4800 to 48.40, and you can see how price has just traded those key levels and used them as a guide. Right now we're trading on an inside day right at 48.80. I mentioned before that if you draw a line across 48.80, every single time price has gotten above that level, it's been offered time and time again, whether it just peeks its head above it for a day or whether it closes above it. If it closes above it, the next day is usually a down day. We did not close above it yesterday, and we rejected off it, just recently. So this is an important area. I would think that we still want to come up here and take out these highs, and then from there perhaps return it back down. So again, I still believe there's more upside. Pullbacks are to be defended. I believe this 48.40 right here is a great area to defend should it be retested, and that could squeeze you into 49.20 to 49.50. Once we get above those new highs, you got to be careful. You got to be able to take those profits because a counter swing move could be on the horizon. Lastly, let's take a look here at the intraday time frame. So on the intraday basis, again, we have an inside day that's developing right now. 48.40 is an important key level. We don't really have much volume to speak of or much movement here. Just super tightly coiled range. Again, we have about 5 minutes until news comes out, and that could lead to some nice movement one way or another. Above 48.80 begins to squeeze into that next area of targets, 49, 49.20, and any failure to hold, 48.60 will re-auction 48.40, and that could be another great buying opportunity for a move up. Failure to hold 48.40, re-auctions 48.04. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the rest of the week. Good luck, trade well, and happy Thanksgiving.